welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal.
I'm Andy O.
And we are KAMMA. We are about to talk about the final predictions, our thoughts for the face-offs here for UFC Denver, Thug Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. So we're going to get into it right away, starting off with the new edition of the new fight that just was added to the card with Evan Elder versus Darius Flowers. As usual, Andy, you started off. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, so just a little bit about both guys since we didn't get to this fight before. I think Elder is the better fighter. He's well-rounded. He has good loose striking, and he's good on the ground. Although he doesn't use like the takedowns as much as he should, like a lot of guys. Flowers, him as well. You know, he's well-rounded in his own right. He's pretty good at BJJ, although I think he's susceptible to subs. He's been subbed 5 times. And like he's wild, like at the beginning of fights, wastes a lot of energy, but has tremendous pop in whatever he does early on in the fight. The pick is going to be Elder here. I think he's better pretty much everywhere. Maybe he doesn't have quite as much one-shot power, but either way, he's like a lot better. The odds are crazy. I feel Flowers is could be dangerous at the beginning of the fight, but keep in mind this is at elevation, so who really knows who's going to react here? Could be tough for gambling. Anyhow, yeah, the pick is Elder. What about you, Real Deal Khalil?
Yeah, so for this one here too, man, I got to go with Evan Elder. Looking at the picture here, man, we can see that Evan Elder, he looks in great shape, man. He's actually slightly, a tiny bit taller than Darius Flowers. He's more ripped than Darius Flowers. He's more cut. He looks in better shape, actually. I thought that Darius was going to come out in better shape, but he looks okay. But,
One thing about
not as ripped.
yeah, one thing about Flowers here, he doesn't even want to be like fighting, and apparently he posted somewhere that he's unhappy about it, and he didn't want to fight at elevation and all this stuff. So I don't know if that's a great mindset for the guy going into this fight, but
Yeah,
anyhow.
seriously, man. He looks like he might end up gassing out with these with this elevation. Maybe we'll see what happens. But one thing for sure is that Evan Elder looks very very serious, man. They both look serious. They both look ready to go. Like I said, Evan Elder looks a little bit better. Um, Also, he can grapple, Evan Elder. This guy can mix it up well. He can mix it up on the feet. He can grapple. And like you said, he doesn't really use it much, but I think he could use it in this fight here and get Darius Flowers down. He's also decent on the feet for striking there. Darius Flowers, man, he's not that good, man. You know, like I never really thought that this guy was that great to begin with.
The, yeah, the thing with him was his like, great boxing, and like the guy was 1-9 as a boxer with 8 knockouts against, right? So he's well rounded, but I think what gets in his way also is he can apply his skills later on into the fight because he's too gassed out because he wastes all his energy early in the fight. But no, I don't think he's that good either, and he really beat no one good, like at
Yeah,
all.
he lost his last fight to Michael Johnson, um, and it was a unanimous decision. And Michael Johnson, he's really not that great anymore. 21-19 guy. Uh,
At his best, he was a win and loss kind of guy.
exactly. He also
Yeah.
lost to Jake Matthews. He got submitted by Jake Matthews the fight before that. So like I said, I don't find he's that great. Evan Elder looks a little bit better. He beat his last opponent against Gennaro Valdez by unanimous decision. Prior to that, he lost to Nazim Sadikov, who's really good, and Preston Parsons, a very good grappler, very good wrestler there. So I think Evan Elder's the better guy in this one. I got him winning by KO or decision in this one.
Yeah, I'll go with knockout sub.
All right, so we are in agreement with the first fight of the prelims in the final predictions here. So moving on up, the next fight we got Josh Fremd versus Andre Petroski. For this one, man, Josh Fremd, like this guy's obviously, you can see he's much, much taller than Andre Petroski, but Petroski is bigger. He's more built. He's more muscular than Fremd. Fremd actually looks skinny, man. Like he came out, he doesn't look like he's in good shape. He's not as in good shape as I've seen him before. Just looks tall and lanky. He has super skinny legs. And again, I hate that stupid smile he had on his face. This one, you didn't catch the full, like he was smiling a lot in the face-offs. He had a stupid smile on his face.
Just wait.
At the beginning. And I also heard that Petroski used to train with Josh Fremd. So he knows him very well.
He got beaten up by Josh Fremd.
And I think that he's going to come back and get the win in this one. I think Andre is going to take him down. Being bigger than him, I think he's going to control him on the ground, maybe get some ground and pound. I think he's going to be the stronger fighter in this one. And I think that his grappling is going to work on this one, especially if he can get a hold of those two fucking skinny ass legs of him, get a double leg, take him down easily. The punches are going to be harder and more powerful from Petroski. And again, Petroski's fighting for his job. As you know, the new Dana White Contender Series is coming up soon. So they're going to be cutting a lot of guys. Petroski doesn't want to get cut. If he loses this fight, he's out. So I have him winning this one by decision or maybe a later finish, man. And apparently he said he wants to fight Bo Nickel after this fight. So if he wants to fight Bo Nickel, he better win this fight in good fashion here.
All right, I say time to pack up your bags if it's going to be his last fight for Petroski. I say Fremd is going to control the clinch here. I'm going to say that he's going to be able to avoid the wide, maybe more powerful, but looping shots of Petroski. I say that Fremd's straight shots are going to connect with Petroski more. But, man, what's screaming at me about this fight is that Petroski seems like a guy who's going to gas real fast at elevation. I just have that feeling with his physique and all of that. And considering he gasses out in general, I'm looking for him to throw a couple wild haymakers and just really feel that elevation, man. This is just a gut feeling. But either way, man, this is almost a toss-up fight for me. I got to roll with Fremd, man. I think we may be saying goodbye to Petroski, even though he wants to fight Bo Nickel next.
Well, both of these guys, man, if they lose, it's not going to be looking good.
Yeah, it's no good for either of them. So the pick is going to be Fremd by decision or sub.
Yeah, I got Andre Petroski to get a finish in this one, so knockout sub for me in this one.
Okay.
All right, moving on up the card. Next, we have Luana Santos versus Agapova.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, the pick for me is Maria Agapova gonna come on strong, you know, after going through her troubles. She's gonna be the best opponent I think Luana Santos faced because I really think that Stephanie Egger is like done, like over the hill and not that good. Juliana Miller, enough said, possibly the worst fighter in UFC history that got more than one fight. I don't know. I say Agapova is going to show some endurance here, better than in the past. She does have sub ability. I think she's going to keep Luana Santos off of her. And look at her physique, Agapova, man. She looks better, and her midsection there looks more ripped. She looks better than I've ever seen her. And let's hope she pulls out a win here, man.
All right, so
by let's say by decision, or let's say by decision.
All right, man. So my pick stays the same in our final predictions here for these prelims. I still got Luana Santos, man. I got to go with Luana Santos. Well, both Luana Santos and Maria, they're both in good shape. They both have the same kind of body types. Agapova looks a little bit more ripped there on the stomach area there and the abs. But they're both in great shape. Maria is a little bit skinnier, though. And she's a little taller than Santos, just by a bit. She also has that stupid smile on her face. You can see it there a little bit in the corner of her face there, that little stupid smile. Whereas Luana looks to be the more serious fighter. She looks much more serious. Like I said, the grappling of Luana Santos and the submission threats, the submissions ability that she has, I think that's where she's going to have the advantage in this fight. I have her winning this fight by submission or decision. I think Luana Santos is just better, man. She's fought in the UFC. She's fought some good opponents.
They both fought in the UFC. She hasn't fought good opponents.
I think so. I think she fought some good opponents.
Who was a good opponent she fought, though, out of curiosity?
As we mentioned before, man, she fought
No,
again. I know you don't like, you don't think Stephanie Egger is anything there, but still, Stephanie Egger is a pretty decent opponent. She beat her by unanimous decision. She beat Juliana Miller. We know that she's not that good. And then after that was in the LFA. But look at Maria Agapova, man. She, as soon as she came into the UFC, she has lost 3 fights. She beat Hannah Cyphers. Like, that's really not that impressive.
oh,
Lost
it's
to
true.
Shayna Dobson, got knocked out ground and pound. She did beat Sabina Mazel by sub, but then she lost to Marina Moroz by sub and lost to Jillian Robertson by sub. Like I said, she's susceptible to submissions. Luana can get submissions. This is where I'm going with Luana. She's going to get
Uh,
her down in sub.
I disagree, but yeah, I'm just rolling with the dog here. It's a lowish level women's fight to me, and you know how I like to pick these big dogs. So yeah, let's hope for a
We
decent
are
enough
still
fight.
in disagreement with this one here. So I got Luana Santos winning by sub or decision here.
Yeah, so it'll be a decision, I said, but decision or a sub too, because Agapova has 5 subs.
That is true. All right. So moving on up the card, nothing has changed so far. We got Montel Jackson versus Damon Blackshear. Like this one a lot.
Oh yeah.
Um, Montel Jackson slightly taller than Damon Blackshear. They're both in phenomenal shape. Both these guys are in incredible shape for their division. Of course, they're both ripped. I got the slight edge on Blackshear, who's a little bit thicker, a little bit more muscular than Jackson. Jackson's just a little bit skinnier. They both look serious. I like Damon to get the win by submission or decision in this one. I feel he has more ways to win. He's very tough. And the thing I like about Damon is he's got that dog in him, man. He's got that dog in him to get the finish. Like he doesn't go out there and just try to like score points. He goes out there and tries to finish you off. He tries to knock your head off or tries to get you on the ground, tries to sub you. Montel is more of a striker. He's got some knockout power. He can strike well, but I think he's going to have a tough time in this fight because Damon's going to take him down. And once he gets him on the ground, I think he's going to do some cool moves. And I think he's going to end up getting a finish here by submission. I got Damon Blackshear winning here by submission or decision, but I'm leaning a lot more towards the sub.
Yeah, both these guys look in great shape, about the same size. They look serious about this. I'm really looking forward to this fight. My pick is Blackshear as well. I think as I mentioned in the first video, like his aggression is going to be definitely part of his game. He's going to be swinging. He's going to be going for those takedowns. I worry that maybe going for all these takedowns is going to gas him out, and Montel has pretty decent takedown defense. But I think, as you said, Damon Blackshear, he is a dog, you know, and he's going to go for the win. Even in his losses, I've been impressed. He never let me down, and I got to go with him as a dog here. And let's not forget, again, with Montel Jackson, man, he reminds me of Venom Page in the sense that his opposition hasn't been tremendous. You know what I mean? Like Blackshear is going to be the best opponent he's ever fought for sure. So I'm going with Blackshear by submission or decision.
All right, so we agree on this one then. Perfect. All right, so let's move on up the card to the next fight here. We got Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Fatima Klein.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, baby, I love this one.
Yeah. So here I'm gonna flip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip, and I'm going with Jasmine Jasudavicius, man. I put some thought into this one. I think she's gonna be too much of a she's gonna be too much for her debut fight, this Fatima Klein, right? And Jasudavicius was already on this card before, already in preparation. Fatima's Klein is coming in on short notice. Now, that's not necessarily a terrible thing. A lot of first timers come in on short notice. Fatima Klein has some skills, but according to her previous fights, including one that you mentioned before, man, she had trouble putting away a real sloppy a chick for opposition there. I forget her name. Do you remember her name here?
Trillo, something Trillo.
Okay, maybe Trill, but I saw even another one, which
Yeah,
further
Cage or something Cage, I think. I can't remember.
something, yeah, a weird name.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow. Okay, so I flipped my pick. I don't do this all that often, but I'm gonna do it in this case. I'm going with Jasmine here. by decision.
Oh yeah, NDO finally saw the light, man. Yeah,
Oh,
and you know what, man? A lot of people, I swear, man, I'm looking around, and a lot of people have Fatima Klein. I don't know why they are going for this broad, but let me tell you, I love this one. Jasmine is actually bigger than Fatima, as you can see in this picture here. She's taller, also looks more muscular. Fatima ran right into the face of Jasmine with her arms up,
Yeah.
punching stance there. And Jasmine didn't even flinch one bit, man. She kept her arms down with a serious look on her face, as you can see here. The fact that Jasmine has fought the better fighters, Fatima is taking this fight on short notice. Let's not forget. She's moving up a weight class. Also, let's not forget. I don't see her being able to beat Jasmine, man. Jasmine ain't letting this new smaller bitch beat her, man. Okay, I got Jasmine to win this one by decision, and maybe even a late finish if she catches her. I don't think Fatima is going to be able to take her down. You can see that Jasmine's got much more size. She's bigger. I don't think Fatima's going to. I think Fatima's going to get in there and have a rude awakening, thinking that she's going to go in there and try to take down Jasmine and try to bully her around. That ain't happening.
well
Jasmine's
said.
bigger than her. Jasmine's tougher than her. Fought better fighters. She's fought in the UFC before. Again, Fatima moving up in weight class, the short notice, everything is looking against her. I don't know why people have Fatima. I'm going for Jasmine in this one, man. I like it.
Nice. We agree.
All right. I like that you flipped the script.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
had to
man.
flip. Had to flip.
All right. Moving on up the card now to the last fight of the prelims here. We got Joshua Van versus Charles Johnson. Who you got here, Andy?
This one here, I'm sticking with Joshua Van. Again, I love his body shots. I love his progressive work. He's not the craziest one-punch power guy. I don't think he's going to knock out Charles Johnson here, but I think he's very smart with the way he approaches fights at his young age. And again, with Charles Johnson, I don't think he never puts it all together and never seems to with his striking. For a guy that has a great gas tank, he doesn't weaponize it enough because he loses decisions, man. He 6 of his losses have all been by decision. On the other side, I don't think he can be put away. So I'm going with Joshua Van to methodically put Charles Johnson away. I hope Joshua Van doesn't gas out. Charles Johnson, like, I don't think he'll gas out. That's why I say it's going to decision. But who knows with this altitude? But I'm sticking with Van, and I'm sticking with 2 decision because Charles Johnson is impossible to put away. What about
All right.
you?
All right. So nice. You got Joshua Van in this one, and so do I. Pick stays the same. Joshua Van looks in great shape, man. He's excited to be there. Charles Johnson's taller. He's also in great shape as well. They're both ripped. Joshua Van obviously is a little bit, I think he's a little bit thicker and a little bit more muscular than Charles Johnson. You can see in this picture, Charles Johnson is kind of skinny there. Joshua Van slightly a little bit thicker there. Also, what the fuck was up with Charles Johnson's shorts? You can't see it in this picture, but his shorts were like folded up. It looked kind of weird, man. He looked like he had some weird folded up shorts there. Like they're already shorts. Why are you folding them? And then, he just looked weird to go along with his weird haircut. Anyway.
I noticed he was dancing in there and doing something weird before the face-off. So
maybe that's why his shorts got rolled up. Who knows?
Weirdo.
I like Joshua Van to get the win, man. I'm worried a little bit about the height and reach advantage that Charles Johnson has, and the fact that Charles Johnson does have some grappling. So I am a bit worried about it, but I think Joshua Van can get the win here. We'll talk about the betting, though. I think Charles Johnson is a good dog, but I'm still picking Joshua Van to get the win here. I got Joshua Van winning by KO or decision.
All right.
So there you have it, folks. Our final predictions, thoughts for the face-offs for the prelims. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for our next video. We're going to talk about the main card.
Hey, MMA, baby.
Peace out, folks.